Well, hello there, my fine gardening friends. How the devil are you? Welcome to winter in Nova Scotia. It is 2 weeks, I think, just about 2 weeks before Christmas, and I've been putting a few Christmas decorations up, which I'll talk about in a minute. But it's a beautiful day today, beautiful day outside. Blue, as you can see, beautiful blue sky. I've got snow on the ground. So not really many gardening proper things I can do. So what I thought I would do, or what I have done, was make myself a Christmas wreath. And it's my first ever effort. So what I thought I'd do is I'd make another one and show you how I did it. You know, they're quite expensive, aren't they, wreaths in the shops nowadays? I can't exactly remember, but it's quite a few dollars. And you can, most of this is made from stuff from my garden. I'm lucky enough to have the trees, etc. And there's some old grass from the ornamental grasses, etc. So you can knock up a Christmas wreath quite cheaply. So I thought I would have a go, which I have done, and I thought I'd show you how I did it. So there we go. Why don't we get on with it? I'll stop talking for the minute, get to the greenhouse, get some bits together, and we can show you how I did it. So, welcome to the greenhouse. It being December, there's not a lot going on, although I have got underneath in my centre bed here, underneath this fleece, I've got some pak choi that I'm nursing along, hoping to have some over the holidays. My brother's coming over from the UK, 28th of December, something like that, so I'm going to cook him a nice Chinese meal. And a nice bit of pak choi with ginger, garlic and some soy sauce. Absolutely beautiful. So I've got a few there and hoping to nurse that over the next couple of weeks, so that it'll be ready to make him a meal when he comes over. So that's really all I've got going. Other than actually outside, I've got some carrots still in their bed. So I'm, again, trying to nurse them so that I can have some carrots on Christmas Day with my roast turkey. Anyway, back to pre-Christmas stuff and my wreath. So I'm lucky enough to have lots of different evergreens, pines in my back garden. As you can see, surrounded there, we've got, I've got white pine, hemlock, balsam fir, all sorts of different bits and bobs. And as you can see here, I've got a few of them. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with obviously the ring. Now, you can buy the pre-made rings, but I've just got some galvanised, quite heavy-duty wire here, quite stiff. So I've got some of that, and I've cut that and made it into a ring by twisting it around itself a couple of times. So really, that's what I would call 2 rounds of the wire, and I've twisted it around itself so that then I can, it's nice and stiff for a start, and it's about, what's that, about a foot across. So 2 hands, that's about a foot, and like I said, twisted it around. What I should do is get, what I did on the last one, is get a bit of sellotape around that bit there. Instead of that, I've got in amongst here somewhere some string, so I'll just tie that off with a bit of string. So that's the other thing you need. You can get green plastic gardening thing, but I prefer string myself. Try to use plastic as little as possible. Right, so if I just tie that off. It's not going to last forever. There we go. So there's my ring, and what I'm going to do first is I'm going to use some of these bits here just to create a base, and I'm just going to twist these in and out. Now this is not going to be looking super fantastic. I'm not worried about that. What I just want to do is create a bit of a base, a background, if you know what I mean. And so I'm just going to twist that in and out, in and out. And then I will come back to you in a minute when I have done it. So I'll just do another one there. Just literally twisting that around and about where I'm poking them through the holes where I had the twists. So I'll carry on with that. Actually, talking about those firs, obviously if you haven't got loads of trees like me in the back garden, you'll have to go down the woods. But you know, that's not a big deal. You're not stripping trees of massive amounts of branches, etc. You're just going to use a few for your wreath, so you know that's okay. Okay, so there is my base. Now I've twisted some bits in and out, and I've also tied some bits around. Now don't despair. I know what you're thinking, Steve. That looks complete rubbish, and you know it's only the background, so don't worry. Don't abandon me yet. So there we go. There is our background. So that is going to start us off. Now, what I've done, and what I haven't done with the holly is cut this up yet. Hang on, give me a sec. Right, so we have our base. Now, what I want to do is get my string and just tie a bit round anywhere on the actual base, on the ring. So there we go. There is my base there. And I've got my actual length and I'm just keeping it on there. Right, so what I want to do now is I want to make sure I've got all my different bits of pine needles, a bit of holly here, some other type of needles there, and maybe some different ones here, all around the same sort of size. And I want to put them together. Et voila. Let's have that. And now I want to take the ring and just about which way am I going to go? Yeah, just to the left of where you've put your knot, I want to hold my little bouquet, my little evergreen bouquet, and then I'm going to wrap my string round a couple of times around the sort of base. Doesn't matter if you can see it, just nice and tight. Keep that nice and tight like that. So it's at a bit of an angle. So there, and then we put it down, and now we're going to get another couple of bits. So nice bit of pine. Might get a couple of bits of pine, these ones this time. Another of the big stuff. Maybe another bit of holly. What else? 1, 2, 3. Let's get a little bit of this. And again, this time just a little bit again to the right hand side. Make sure of that. And again, wrap my string round nice and tight. Et voila. See, we're starting to get now a bit of shape there. So let's go once more. Bit of that, bit of that. I'm going to leave the holly out this time because I ain't got that much holly, so I'm going to waste it all on one go, and it doesn't matter. Maybe have another piece of this, or maybe got quite a bit of this stuff. So let's have that there. So again, just to the right. And it don't matter if you've got any long bits here, you can cut them off if they look bad later on. So again, let's wrap this round the base. Nice and tight. I'll do it a couple of times to be sure. And all the other bits of string are starting to be covered up as we go round. So I'm going to do quite a few more. I'm going to go around a little bit more, and then we'll start to see a good bit of shape, and then I'll come back with a sitrep or situation report. Be right back. Okay, I think we're starting to get a sense of where we are now. Of it actually, it's not going to look as bad as you first thought. Anyway, you know, this is a good hour or so job. It's not you know, it's not a 5-minute job, but it's nice being outside. Or just anyway, at any time of the year, looking at greenery, you know, non-man-made stuff is great anyway. So, you know, it's lovely to be out. I've been stuck inside for the last, you know, 6 weeks really, with my hip being replaced. So it's just nice to be out here holding the smell of, you know, the evergreen, the smell of the pine. So, keeping going with this. It's going to take me another half an hour or so. And once I've done this, you know, the full ring, I'll sort of go, as I'm coming towards the end, I'll probably come back to you, and then we can think about the other bits and bobs that we can put it, you know, the spotlight things, maybe a couple of plastic balls, you know, maybe some sparkly baubles, or definitely use the grass again that I've got, the ornamental grass, and we'll have a look at what else we can use to pretty it up. You know, obviously, if you've got some mistletoe or some holly berries or something like that, that'd be fantastic. But let's get to this bit first. So I'm going to finish this off now, and I'll come back to you with the last bits. Right, I think that is the last little bit. Let me tie this off first, actually. So, cut my string. Tie a little knot in there, so it's all nice and tight. There we go. There's our base. So I can go round, or you could go round, whatever. And if you find any sort of bits that you feel need touching up, you can just sort of, you know, tie some in, etc. But I think that is, I think that's jolly good, that one. Right, so there's my, like, the background now. So now I need to put the posh bits in. So, like I said, I've got these ornamental grasses, seed heads, and I'm going to put them in, and I'm just going to literally feed them in. So as I've got 4, I'm going to put them at like 10 to 2, 10 past 2, 10 to 10, etc. So let's do that. Oh, hang on. It's all going wrong. Right, so if I put one in sort of there, then one in the opposite side. Should have cut all these at the same length, shouldn't I? Schoolboy error. That's a bit long still. Right, so let's get one in sort of around there. Bit fiddly, this bit. There we are. So there we've got our 4 grasses in. Put more in, put less in. Now I've also got some of these cheap baubles from the old dollar store. So let's, they're a bit, I've got odd, so let's put one in here. I'm only going to have these temporary at the minute because I'll probably have to tie them in because I haven't got a very good And voila, one at the bottom. See if I can push these into the wire. There you go, there's two. What about that? I don't want anything too ostentatious. I think that'll do actually. Some nice red berries would have been nice in there, but I reckon that'll do for my secondary. I've got a couple of little bits I need to put in. Let's put some fillers in. Probably need to fill in a bit more around there, but I reckon that's it. So really the last thing to do is to find somewhere to put it. Why don't we have a look? So before we finish, actually, before we hang it up, it wasn't particularly difficult, you know, it's just a bit, you know, repetitive, going around, getting the little bits, making sure everything's tied off nice, looped round, tied off, nice and tight every time. And then fill in any gaps that you need to fill afterwards. But really and truly, quite enjoyable and very inexpensive. A lot cheaper than you get in the shops anyway. There we go. Right, let's go and find somewhere to put this. There we go. What do you reckon? I'm quite liking that. I added this little red maple leaf at the bottom here. Wanted a bit of red in there, didn't I? I'm feeling rather Christmassy now. Now, all we need is some Christmas music and maybe a glass of red wine to top off the Christmas feeling. Et voila. A very merry and optimistic Christmas to you, my friends. See you in the new year. Be lucky. Job's a good one.